Let's see if I can do this properly. I'm like leaning over. Weird. Um, I kind of like this camera angle. Do you like the camera angle? I like the camera angle. All right, so I'm not sure what to call these because it has to be a series. It can't just be. It could be called me rambling. I don't know. I was thinking like dirty bench or something like that. I don't know. I want to name what it's gonna be another video of me talking about another one of my RC cars. And I really wish I would have filmed this one, but I have this thing where when I'm working on something, I just want to listen to music, but I can't listen to music if I'm sitting here animated talking to the camera. But then if I'm just sitting in silence, it feels weird. But today, I will be talking about my my Traxxas slash 4x4. First, I'm going to give you a really quick rundown of how I came into possession of this truck, and kind of just where what's happened to it. As far as I know, I'm the third owner of this truck. The first guy that bought this truck drove it. Basically, if he wasn't on the throttle, he was backing up. If he wasn't full throttle, then he was just backing up. What the fuck is that? Oh, that's new. Where the fuck did you come from? Anyways, the Traxxas slash, I don't know how he did it, but somehow he got that truck to go into thermal shutdown in the middle of winter. Do not know how he did that, but somehow achieved. So then it was sold to someone that I know, and then that person gifted it to me. And I found that since the motor had been overheated so many times, the magnets in the motor had lost all compression. Normally when you spin a motor, you can feel the magnetic field as it changes with the armature. With that, it had no magnetization at all. You could just sit there and free spin that Valenian motor. So it had no guts. It drove worse than a brushed motor. So I was like, well, this sucks. So I bought a Hobbywing Max 10 3 to 4S system. 4,000 kV before I even knew what kV meant. Dropped that motor in, rounded a spur gear, changed the center diff back to a slipper because I felt like it. I don't know. I like the stock configuration. So then, after switching the motor in, I took a better look at the truck after popping a drive shaft off and noticed that all the drive cups were super loose, all the carriers were super loose, multiple bearings were worn out, and it needed everything. When I mean everything, I mean like everything besides the shock towers and the chassis. It needed a complete overhaul, and I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to put in the money. I looked at the parts, did the research, and I was looking down the barrel of a lot of money for a fucking RC car. But I just put it away. Just put it in a cabinet, let it sit there for years. One day I drug it out, took the cobwebs off, and I was like, all right, let's make a fucking parts list. And then I did. This is BARF.
BARF!
Not in here, mister. This is a Mercedes.
It's shirt. I wish it was on a shirt. It's short for Bartholomew. From Spaceballs, John Candy. Okay. I was going to name it Dirt Nap because it sounded a lot cooler. But then I was like, wait a minute, you're a Spaceballs nerd. Fucking, it's Barf. This was not my decision. This body was put on. I put the stickers on, so if you want to make fun of the stickers, feel free. But the Hydro Dip was not me. And the body holes were not me, and the decision to use fucking nylocks to hold this goddamn body on. Eventually, I'm gonna put it back to stock because it just pulls out. It just pulls out the fucking thing it's supposed to thread into. I don't like this body mount system. I want to go back to clips, or even better, I could buy a clipless body. Yeah, I just pulled that one out too. Oh, love it. Just not your standard Traxxas body. Oh god, that must be bright. But it's a similar style of body. Just got some Traxxas stickers on it. I bought a whole sticker sheet, only used like a quarter of it. Yeah, that's that right there. Yeah, that word, that's what makes this so fucking expensive. You go over in the mess. Okay. Oh, that's dirty. Cut. All right, I can't find my fucking my cleaning brush, so it's just gonna be a little dirty. Oh goodness. Okay, you guys stay in a circle. So for the batteries, I have the exact same. I bought the exact same batteries from the exact same distributor as the batteries I have for Tinker. I've also wrapped these ones in electrical tape, just so that if I do bash, it helps them stay together and it helps it not move around as much, even though it is moving around too much for my liking. I'm gonna put foam down in there eventually, but right now it's just cardboard. Motor, like I said, Hobbywing 4000 kV. I've got a Surpass Hobbies cooling fan. Eventually, underneath of it, I am going to open it up to get more airflow down into the actual heat sink that is shaved into the motor. Because if I were to take this off, you can see there's an actual heat sink built in, but it doesn't do the best of job. Even though I've geared this truck down, I had a 19 tooth in it. Right now I've got a fucking 15, which I might even take down to a 13. Just so that I can relieve some stress off the motor. And initially it did overheat a little bit for my liking. It wasn't actually overheating. I have the thermal cutoff set as low as it can go. But just for my own sake, I like to keep my electronics as cool as possible. And when I have the dust shield on here, well, yes, I bought a dust shield because this thing attracts dust like a fucking vacuum. So I got a full body dust shield. I just didn't put it on because I wasn't running in super bad material, just a little bit of grass. Traxxas plug, just because that's what I have. Most of the time I run Deans, but since this truck pulls so much voltage and so many amps, the Deans will get too hot for my liking. So I put this because these can actually handle the voltage and the draw that this motor system creates. The only electronic that is stock on this truck is the servo. Amazingly, this is the original Traxxas servo that came in this truck. And I think the only thing that has saved this servo is the servo saver, because the servo saver is really nice. I like the servo saver. I would make it looser if I could, because I don't like killing servos. The shocks are aftermarket. They're just some pro lines. I did not put these on, but I did go through and I cleaned them out and made them work just as bad. I don't think these are stock. I'm pretty sure these are the platinum wheels. For a parts list. Oh goodness. So my initial parts list was both diffs, Nerf bars, different battery configuration because he just had Velcro straps in there. both bulkheads, all arms, all new knuckles and carriers. And then I got MIP drive shafts. What the fuck else? Is that all? I already said Nerf bars. Something else that I got, but I can't remember. It'll come to me in a dream. But I got all that installed, and then the stock RPM carriers, they didn't take the size because the MIPs are made for the newer variant of heavy duty knuckles. So I had to get Traxxas branded heavy duty knuckles, even though I didn't want to. So now I'm hoping it's gonna hold up just because of how like legitimately light this little truck is. I love that metal. A lot of people don't like that. I like that. So I had to spend another $40 fucking on carriers and knuckles. So after I get all that, I got the suspension tuned, got everything running true, nothing's towed out or towed in. I got it all flying straight and greasy. God damn it. It's a pretty truck now. I gotta take care of it. Everything's Loctited. She's ready to rip. She's ready to put Jacob's trucks to fucking shame. That's for damn sure. The only thing that I think I do need to replace is this rear bumper. Underneath, the screws have actually pulled out on me, so I had to put washers and slightly longer screws. So I just want to replace this little piece. For the front, I want to get a stiffer bumper. And I think that's about it. The center drive shaft's probably going to need to be replaced eventually. I might do a slight upgrade with that. And the chassis might need to be replaced eventually, but I want to actually break it first. Because I don't think I'm going to be very easy on this truck as far as like hard landings and crashes. I want to get rid of this body and have an excuse to paint up a Ford body. But at the same time, I also don't want to put in the effort to paint a Ford body. Because painting, even though people like my builds, I am not the biggest fan of painting. It just takes way too fucking long. I like turning wrenches. I think that's it. Yeah, you can see I got the new bulkheads knocking over my third place. Fucking. From what I've had and what I've done so far, it's very nippy. That Hobbywing system is very responsive. That's what I always loved about Hobbywing. It is fully sensorless. I didn't mention that. It looks like it has a sensor that's just a temp wire. I will always be Team Hobbywing. But if anybody is looking for a good motor for a 10th scale, like a 10th scale, 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, what have you, this motor is very good. Like, right, like that. It's not extremely amazing, and it's not underwhelming either. It's right there in the middle, if not above average. It's a very good middle ground motor and ESC. I fucking love it. So if you guys do have any questions, oh my god, if you guys do have any questions, inquiries about Traxxas Slash, I would recommend it to just about anybody. Even the 2-wheel drive ones are very fun. 2-wheel drive racing is really fun. I think if I were to get another Traxxas vehicle, I've been kind of itching to get either a Bandit or a Stampede or a Rustler. Any of them. I have a Rustler, but I want to get a new one because I don't want to break my original. But I think for now, this is going to be plenty enough building for a while. No, it's not. But it's going to tide me over. Wait till winter comes. There'll be a lot more crawling stuff when winter comes. Almost got the suspension dialed in. I think I'd need slightly different springs. I'm rambling. You guys have a good night. If this wasn't very entertaining, I totally get it. Uh, until next time.